I just realized I did a live yesterday when I was in the city. I was working down in the city yesterday. I was doing the live and I was talking about first I was talking about the Ti 50 Cent situation. Then I started talking about the war and everything going on. And I just realized they cut my video off right as I was saying. I was talking about the warehouses that they all these warehouses they bought. X3 Alhuda was good. I was talking about the warehouses they bought for these illegal immigrants and all this stuff. And what I was saying was, I was like, it doesn't make sense that they bought all these warehouses and invested all this money for these warehouses for illegal immigrants if the objective is to ship them back to their country. What are they spending so much money on warehouses for to detain them or house them? Because if they just want to send them back to their country, you don't gotta invest that much money and buy that many warehouses to hold people for a couple of days before you put them on a damn plane and send them away. But as I was saying that, my video cut off. I just realized, I looked at it, I was like, then they cut my video off as I was saying that. I thought that was some weird shit. But this is what I think that I like. Not to go too crazy with all the conspiracy stuff, but I mean, why not though? This is all that's been going on, all this stuff that's been coming out, these revelations and stuff. But this is what this war is about. They're doing this so that we can be attacked in America. They already put the word out that there's sleeper cells in America that been coming over. And what they probably were was when they let all them, when right before Trump came in, when Biden was still in there, they let all these people across the border. They let them just like run across, and we kept noticing. We was like, why is there so many young military age looking men coming across the border? They didn't have no kids with them, nothing like that. It was by themselves. They were military age men, talking to men in their 20s, coming from different countries and stuff like that. So that's one thing. That's one part about it. But what I feel like is this whole timeline of the New World Order has been like really sped up. You know what I'm saying? So I think now is the time where they want to start having violence break out in America. That way they can come in with martial law and stuff like that. Because this is the thing about it. A lot of people that don't understand how this stuff really works, the so-called the elites or the machine, whatever you want to call it. People be thinking, well, if it's a secret society and a hidden society, and they words people say for it, why would they not just do what they want to do? Why do they operate like that? The reason why they got to do certain stuff a certain way is because not every single person in the government is deep state or Illuminati or whatever you want to call it. Some people who are in the government are actually regular people in the government. Not every single person is in on the whole big world, the world theater, the world scheme, and the world stage thing. The big world takeover. Not everybody in the government is in on it. So you got to understand, the people that are in on it, they have to still carry out this stuff in a manner that their colleagues who aren't in on it really believe they're part of a system that's legit. That's what people don't understand. That's what people don't realize. So what I'm saying is that, in my mind, what I don't believe in no such thing as different countries. The only thing different about different countries are the citizens that live in the country, us, the regular people that live in them. When it comes to the leadership, it's all controlled by the same people, whether the leadership realizes it or not. Most of the head leadership, of course, probably knows it, but some of them might not. It's all ran by the same people, but they still have to have an actual story of why things are happening. Like right now, Trump is saying they got weapons of mass destruction, they got nuclear weapons or whatever like that. The backstory that they want to leave lingering in people's minds is this is a distraction from the Epstein files. See, they knocking my live out, man. This is what I was saying. They cut my live off yesterday when I was started talking about the immigrants with these facilities. They just tried to cut me off again and start reconnecting. Like I was saying, the official story for this war is nuclear weapons. The secondary story is the distraction from the Epstein files, because that's what they want people who don't want to go along with the real story. They want that to be the story that you latch on to if you're a so-called conspiracy theorist or a person that thinks they want to think deeper into the situation. They satisfy those people with This is a distraction from the Epstein files, but it's not the nukes or the Epstein files. What this really is that after when stuff starts happening in America, these so-called sleeper cells, as they already said, start maybe blowing. Allegedly, I'm saying I don't want to use certain words, but if stuff starts happening in America, like real serious hardcore violence, then they could be like, oh, it's because we invaded Iran. So naturally, they could blame. Damn, dude, it's flying. So naturally, they could blame it on Iran. So that's a story. That's what they can. That's the story. You know what I'm saying? So they could run with that. Once we cyber attack, if all of our bank accounts get frozen or emptied out, or if the power grid goes down, or the internet and stuff like that, the phone service, now they can easily say it's because of the Iranians, because we attacked Iran. They'll even go so far as to say we bit off more than we can chew, if they have to say that, because that's better. That's better than them telling us the real story, which is that they're just ramping up the new world order hyper speed now. They want to go to the next level with this thing. Plus, you got the thing they're talking about. Trump wants to start the war so he can stay in office. That's also a secondary story that they want people like us, like the scared conspiracy theorists, to latch on to, because anything is better than the actual real story. You know what I'm saying? Plus, you got the conversation with these aliens coming in. So don't be surprised if aliens show up and start doing major destruction, so they can also blame it on that. Because where we have come to, this is the point we have come to in America. Too many different people have too many ideas of what America is to them. That's what the real problem is here in the world, especially in America. Too many different people have too many different ideas of what America is. So this is the same roadblock they come to every time they restart society. Because all this technology is not new. People like me have been telling this stuff has been out. None of this technology is new technology. It's only new in the sense of it, new to the world that we live in now. The Roman Empire, the Egyptians, all this stuff has been here before, this technology, and more advanced than what we have now. But this is the same roadblock they run into every time they try to restart society. They start spoon feeding us technology in the hopes of being able to run everything more efficient for them with the push of a button. But every time they come to this point where every society they start, they can't figure out how to get around the roadblock, which is, how do we continue to do this, continue to implement this technology, which makes it easier for us to run the world or run the people, but without them being able to get a hold of it themselves and start being influenced by it and being able to disrupt society themselves, meaning us, the people. And this is the same roadblock they keep coming to. That's why they keep having to destroy societies and rebuild them. Because they try different ways to go about it, but it always comes to the same point they're at now, on top of foundational Black Americans in this society waking up and starting to realize who we actually are and starting to understand how this stuff really works. That's always the a secondary or the primary cause of what happens when this comes to this point too. This ain't the first time that people woke up and started realizing who they actually were. And when it comes to that point, like I said, also with the point of people being able to use technology in their favor, meaning the citizens, that they have to start getting ready to the point they're at now, which is destroy this whole thing so they can rebuild it again, because otherwise they're going to lose control. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing else they can do besides destroy this shit and redo it. But this is the point they come to every time they cut that with the society that they make. So in a nutshell, like I said, the whole reason for this so-called war that's going on, don't believe none of the stories. They'll go to any theatrics just to avoid the real truth, which is that stuff is probably going to start happening here in America, and they just have to have somebody to blame it on. They got to have a good enough story for somebody to blame it on. Right now, the way the story looks is that we went and invaded Iran, killed their highest religious, spiritual person that they have in their society. We went and killed them during the month of Ramadan. You know what I'm saying? So that right there alone is planting the idea that we violated these people so bad that they're willing to go to any extent to carry out whatever they're going to carry out on us so they can be blamed for it. You know what I'm saying? Just like I always say about, I also said about before, the reason they keep different people in different states and different countries, because you got to realize when they say a state really means state of mind or state of living, state of your conditions. Like the United States, we got 50 states. What states really means is 50 different states of existing. That's why every state has its own different laws, its own different stuff, different infrastructure, different government, because what it really is 50 different states of existing, 50 different states of being, 50 different states of mind is what it really is. And that's how they have with the whole entire world in every different country. That's why they got different people in different countries under different states of mind, living in different states and different realities. That way they can move people around like a chessboard and use them for different things in different countries when they got to make shit happen that they can't just do themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was working in the Walmart, like the one thing that woke me up to a lot of this stuff was when I was working in the Walmart distribution center. That was the first spot I stopped when I was working at a bunch of different factories. When I had left real estate when the pandemic was going on, is when I realized certain stuff. But I realized it with Dominicans, and this is just, I'm just talking facts. This ain't nothing. I'm not attacking Dominicans. I'm just speaking what it is. They'll keep a country like Dominican Republic in the state they're in because when they need to have people to come here and work for cheap, then they can bring them over and get stuff done because the state of mind and the state of living that they're in is totally different than ours. Same thing with the Mexicans or whatever. Or any other country that's in a different state of existence that we're living in. That's why they keep different people in different countries and different states of existence. They're like basically can be goons or whatever they got to carry out in different countries and stuff like that. If you follow what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? But in a nutshell, that's what I came here to say, that the official story for this war is they got nuclear. They're about to have a nuclear weapon. The undercover story that they want people to latch on to, as far as like conspiracy theorists and people that don't go along with the news, they want us to believe that the real reason is the distraction from the Epstein files. But like I said, the real reason is for them to have somebody to blame, an easy person to blame when stuff starts happening here in America, because they're going to need stuff to happen here in America so they can take control and implement the last stages of the New World Order. Like I was telling y'all, don't I ain't saying go out here and fight ICE or put yourself in the line or nothing like that. But what I'm saying is you got to be careful being out here and supporting ICE, because what ICE is right now is not what ICE is going to end up being. An article just came out the other day. They said that most of the ICE officers, they don't have they wiped away all the training that it takes to be an ICE agent. You don't got to have training, all the stuff that they're waiving. So you have no idea who the hell these ICE agents really are. And a lot of them wear masks. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. You got to be careful with it, because what ICE is now is not what ICE is going to end up being. I guarantee you that. They're putting everything, just like this whole immigration thing that's also an excuse that the state of living, an excuse that they put in place so they can maneuver other things in line under the name of this immigration thing. Because I tell you, when I was working in these warehouses, this is when Trump was in office last time. So as much as Trump so-called hates immigrants, there was a lot of immigrants in these damn warehouses that I was working in. I'll tell you that much. And most of them was here on expired work visas, meaning that they weren't totally illegal as long as they didn't get in trouble, as long as they didn't have to do e-verify at their job. But they were here on expired work visas, a lot of them. And Trump was in office then, thriving. He wasn't saying nothing about that shit. I mean, he was doing an immigration thing, but he wasn't stopping them. He wasn't down like they are now and all this stuff. So you just be careful what you believe, man. Be careful what they tell you and be careful what you accept as an answer, because this shit is not what it seems like it is. I'm telling you. And these warehouses that they bought and are building, they're talking about they're going to be making these warehouses into mega detention camps where they could house 10,000 people. So like I said, There's no reason to have that many facilities that big and get that many of them if you're trying to deport illegal immigrants. Because all you got to do if you're really trying to get rid of illegal immigrants is have somewhere to put them for a couple days until you get them on a plane and send them out of the country. There's no reason to buy all these warehouses and to build all these mega warehouses. Where do you housing people for if the intention is to get them out of the country? It don't make sense if you really think about it. But what that really is they're putting all these warehouses in place strategically so that when the New World Order pops off, the people that are out here protesting or going against it are the so-called conspiracy theorists. People like me probably, you know what I'm saying, depending on how extreme you are and how much you are going to be against the system, that's going to be the spot that people like me will probably go. You know what I'm saying? People that are not going along with the program when this shit pops off, martial law and all this kind of crazy shit. But that's about it, man. I'm about to go in the store. And everything I said is allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Let me just say allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Mess around, I disappear tonight. But that's what it is, man.